we're back. Oh, welcome to the cavalry, boys and girls.
Welcome to the cavalry. Johnny, you have a great shirt. You look like you have a Pearl Jam shirt. And I don't want to
I do.
I don't want to flex any muscles here, but I know that Pearl Jam has a new album out. How about that?
Oh, you
Have
are
you
a
listened
show.
to
I
it?
have that album.
You
I
bought it?
love it. I have 2 copies of it. I thought someone would buy the record store day edition of it on eBay, and they didn't. So I have 2 copies of
Wait,
it.
is it like an actual like vinyl record?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God, that's so cool. See that
'Cause
you
I
are
got like the
living
red
this.
and black splatter one from the 10 Club, their fan club. And then we talked last week about me waiting in line at record store day, and I was like, oh, I'll get this because it's like a different limited splatter, and
No
there's
takers,
just so
huh?
many on eBay. Yeah.
They apparently it wasn't very limited. Hey, Pearl Jam,
It wasn't limited enough.
next time limit the limited edition.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. It's a cool shirt. I have this
Okay.
great, my friend Brant Tobler, when I saw him in Denver, he gave me this it feels like stolen valor. Let me ask you a question. Is this stolen valor? It's this awesome late night uh David Letterman sweatshirt, but it's like vintage, like a real vintage, like it's this great crew neck blue with the yellow lettering in the classic
Yeah.
like late night with David Letterman. And it's got but I never did Letterman. You did Letterman. I never did Letterman, So I wear
Yeah.
it and it's like you get so many compliments because it's so cool. And I
It's a
love,
jacket or a sweatshirt?
no, it's a sweatshirt. And I love
Oh,
Letterman. And
you got to
it's,
send me a picture of it.
yeah, I'll send you a picture of it after the show. But it's like, I love Letterman. I love the sweatshirt. But then, like, then once, like, if I wasn't a comedian, you wouldn't think twice. Like, of course, I'm just a
Right.
fan. But then once you're a
Yeah.
comedian, it's like, can you wear the merch of a show
Oh, I
you
say
tried
yes.
to get
I say,
on, but never did?
yeah. I still say yes.
Yeah.
Because you're a fan. It's not
Yeah.
like you
Nobody,
wear it hoping people think that you were
yeah.
on it.
And nobody cares anyway.
I know. I
You
just saw.
know,
I looked at the promo for. I'm in at the Comedy Nest in Montreal next weekend, and they have the Stephen Colbert logo next to my picture, and I never did that, and I never said I did that. I don't know,
oh man, that
but
my
nobody cares.
favorite of like poster credits. They do this at this horrible club. I shouldn't say horrible, but this bowling alley club in Richland, Washington, called
Yeah,
Jokers. And in their green room, they've actually had some like it's amazing. You're like, oh my god, they played here. It's like some bigger names. But
yeah,
then like their posters, I think this is back when they really cared. Their posters, they have like big posters, and they put the credits of the comic. So like they had like I think they had like Pablo Francisco or like some bigger. So of course they put all like Pablo's credits on the poster.
yeah.
But then with the guys you don't recognize, they'll just put like we've all had this. Like if you go to New York and you don't have any credits, they'll just be like, hey, from Comedy Central and MTV, give it up for Johnny Beaner. And everyone's like, whatever,
Yeah,
who cares?
yeah.
But then like literally I saw one up there and it said ABC. Like imagine
Like the
anyone,
network.
the network, ABC. So imagine anyone going to their wife like, hey, we got to go down to Joker's tonight. They got that guy from ABC. You know that network we love?
Huh?
You know that network that always has the funniest guys in the
Yeah,
background on commercials? We got to go down. We got to go
yeah.
down to Joker's and see this guy. He's been on ABC. Like you can't say the name of the show. Like that's such a red
Right.
flag.
Yeah, that just means he was on the morning show of the local affiliate.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, of course. I was thinking like a commercial, but yeah, even worse. You might as well just put like television, just like a picture of a TV. Like
Yeah.
I've been on television. You know this guy from television. You know him
The guy
from
from
internet.
TV.
Have you ever seen this guy on
Yeah.
internet? Because
They
that's
show a
really what
picture of a
matters now.
computer
Like,
monitor.
yeah, no one's watching a show and coming to a comedy show. It's like they watch you from
Yeah.
the internet.
That's the thing. Like now, like what do you think is like you're either, oh, you're a working comic and you don't have like, you know, big credits or whatever, or like a credit now is like, oh, you're either a household name or it doesn't matter. You
You
know,
know
like is
what?
there a
I think you
what?
just said it. When you said a working comic, it just hit me like the credit is the fact that you're there that night. Like that literally is the credit. Like you're headlining the Dayton Funny Bone, right? That's the
Yeah.
credit. The fact that they're working you, because nothing else really matters. And then there's either people in the
Yeah.
crowd or not to see you. I don't think any credits anymore work because I think the algorithms have gotten so good. Like people don't even know how they know you.
Yeah.
They just know they know
Yeah.
you. Like their phone just puts you in front of them sometimes if they're like a fan of yours. I would assume if I had fans, I would know. But like I don't think like
Like a,
anyone like the days of like I mean there might be like two or three shows where they're like, "Oh, you were on I love you know, I guess if you're on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you're like a main guy on there, of course those guys can sell tickets, but like
yeah.
I don't know what else it would be, you know.
Yeah, like a series regular.
Or like some podcasts, I guess they just love the podcast and they know that they love you
Yeah.
from the podcast. But even that gets conflated with the internet because there's so many clips bouncing around. But like when you did Letterman, right? I
Yeah.
don't know what you thought. Like, I don't. I think we were both probably smart enough going into any of those late nights, going like, my life isn't going to be like different tomorrow. You know, like I was
Yeah.
hoping for a bump here and there, but like,
Yeah.
and you get a bump here or there. That's true. But like, I don't think either of us was like, oh, it's gonna be like
Yeah.
one day I wake up as Johnny Beaner, and the next day I'm Johnny Beaner superstar. You know,
No more hard work.
no more hard work. But like, I remember thinking, but at least, and I didn't even have a kid at that time, but I was like, at least I can show my kid, my future kid, like even if I'm like a
Yeah.
sad loser on the road doing the bowling alley gigs,
Yeah.
making fun of other people's posters, even then I can show them
Always have that. Yep.
on video in my head. I was like on a tape or something. Your dad was on television doing stand up, and that was a really hard thing to get right. Now,
Yeah.
I don't even think they'll have the concept of the difference between filming yourself on your phone and whatever Letterman or Conan was, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is the difference to a kid between YouTube and NBC? Do your
Yeah.
kids know
I don't
any
know. I don't
difference
know if they
between the
can get
two?
that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know because we almost never watched like they don't. I don't know if they know there's between like Netflix and YouTube and
Right.
Peacock. It's all just
Like,
apps. They're
do
all
they have like
apps.
a favorite YouTuber or like kids love YouTube, right? Like, do they have like favorite
I don't
YouTube
know.
people?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know that Edie and their friends watch. I don't know, like video game people and
Right.
unboxings of crap.
So like, but they like conceptually, do you think they would know the difference between like their favorite ones of them, or like Jimmy Fallon or you know
I mean,
Ryan
I would say
Gosling?
yes because I would drill it into their head
Yeah.
that what I did was important.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
worried that like by my daughter is even younger. Like by the time she's like old enough to understand any of this, it's like she's like, so what? You were on TV.
Yeah.
Like I was on. I've been on TV my whole life. You know, I can put myself on YouTube right now. Watch this, and oh look, I was on TV. How about that? This
Yeah.
conversation we just had, it's on TV now. Look at that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't
I
know.
think the fact that it's become so accessible has diminished the accomplishment. But we'll just have to explain it to them in a long-winded way about how
Right.
we were important,
We made it at
and
one point.
we made it. This was a goalpost that we cleared, and you have to understand that it means a lot to your dying father. Okay,
I was
whatever.
thinking about that the other day, like because you were talking about like everything's on YouTube, everything's on the internet, like everything's so accessible. And I was in the minivan, so we have no CDs, no satellite, no auxiliary or Bluetooth, anything. I'm listening to terrestrial radio,
Love it.
and they're like they're taking requests, like yeah, call in your request. Like who who is
Yeah,
calling in to hear a song on the
I know.
radio
I
that
love them. God
probably
bless
won't get
them.
played for an hour and a half anyway?
God bless you if you're still doing that. I love you to death. The struggle is the uh reward. Like no one like I was driving home and when you've like listened to every obviously you listen to our podcast every week, but then after that there's like maybe a couple more that you like. But if you've had a lot of alone time, at some point you go, I can't listen to any more. Like you know what I mean? I'm out on any podcast. So I was like, I'm gonna listen to music on the drive home.
Yeah,
And I was like, just like my head was just free associating bands. Like I was just like the Beatles to but then like weird stuff like Liza Minnelli or just anybody my head could think of. I was like, play this, play this, play this. And I would get so bored of Pearl Jam. I tried listening to Pearl Jam for like 2 minutes. But then I
yeah,
just like it's like attention span, even with that, I couldn't sit in. Bob Dylan, I was like listening to Bob Dylan. I was like, I never listened to Bob Dylan. I should know who this guy is. And it was just
yeah.
like skip, 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 because it's
Oh,
so
because you just got
easy.
sick of being in control, you mean?
Yeah, I don't like being I think I want a DJ. I want someone to
Yeah,
set up a playlist for me. I asked Heidi one time, I was like, I like think for my last birthday or something, I was like, just make me a playlist. Like make me like a long, like give
yeah.
me taste.
But that's the thing. Like that's what TJ's. Yeah, that's great. But that even like they're taking requests. That's the thing is it's
Yeah.
like what you're supposed to
Yeah.
curate it.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need.
Whatever.
Oh, that was gonna be my top. Okay, that just reminded me of something, and I've got a fresh topic now.
Oh, okay,
All right, inner
nice. All right.
monologue.
All
Oh,
right. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Write it down.
yeah, whatever. It's food
Oh, can I
related,
tell you?
so I'll
Can I
remember.
can I tell you a funny thing? I don't know. Have you ever? I don't know if you've ever had this happen. So I was in Pennsylvania for this was a real planes, trains, and automobiles. I had to drive 2 hours to the Milwaukee airport, or an hour and a half, fly to wherever, had a layover, fly to Pennsylvania, and then the gig was 2 hours from the airport. Rent a car, and then the gig
Oof.
2 hours from the airport. I very rarely book myself at places that aren't close to an airport and then do everything on the way back. It was brutal. But so I get there, I get my rental car and I go to I forgot my clothes in the car at the so they're in the parking lot of the Milwaukee airport. So I'm like, oh God, I gotta get a dress shirt or I can't wear,
Yeah,
whatever, this Air
you're
Jordan
like
t-shirt.
me. You forgot your bag.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Wow, it's
So
contagious.
I go to TJ Maxx and they don't sell shirts for tall people, so the sleeves are too short, but whatever. So I go get a
They
shirt.
also don't.
I
They
come
also
out.
don't sell shirts for successful people.
Right. I figure
You
out
went
it's
to
okay. This is
TJ Maxx.
disposable.
All right.
Anyway, I get out to the parking lot. No idea where my car, no idea
Oh
what
no.
kind of car I
Oh
have.
no.
I don't even have the keys on me because I'm so used with the van. I'm used to, you take the keys out to turn it off. Here, you push a button. So the keys were
Right.
just sitting in the middle console or where, the middle
Oh
dash.
no.
I get out and I'm like, oh my God. All I did know that it was a Hyundai because I remember I saw that on the steering wheel, but I had no idea what kind. I had no idea what color because it was a dark garage. When the guy's like, oh, you
Yeah.
can pick whichever, whatever car. I was like, this is
Oh.
fine. This one right here is fine.
Oh. I hate
So,
this because you just start beating yourself up immediately. In your
yeah.
head, you just start like, you're so stupid. Oh my God, you're wasting so much time. Okay, but go ahead. What happened?
I mean, it wasn't, I had time. I was like, I didn't panic because I was like, well, this is really weird. I felt like I was like, on drugs because I was like, there's no way I can find out what kind of car this is. So I literally, I think I was on the phone. Yeah, I was on the phone with my brother the whole time. I just was walking around looking in the cars to see which ones had, keys sitting in there and a backpack in the foot area of the passenger spot.
Again,
And then
not
eventually, I was like, oh, here it is.
luckily it was a TJ Maxx parking lot, so no one was suspicious of a tall bearded
Right.
man just staring into cars walking up and
Looking in
down.
every car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you found it pretty quickly
I
or
did find it,
okay.
but it was, yeah, it was just like, wow. Not only do I
I know
not
that
know what kind
feeling.
of car it is, I don't even have the keys.
Yeah, because you just start, and that's the other thing about like you forget your clothes.
Yeah.
Like mistakes can compound like that. Like that's the worst. It's like when you make a like small little mistake, and then it leads
Yeah.
to like, and it makes me frustrated, and you're tired from all the traveling, and then you have to
Yeah.
do something to compensate for that mistake, which leads to like 10 more, and the next thing you know, like you know,
Yep.
you've lost the house or something. But
Anyway,
you made it. Was it what was it?
we
A
made it.
college or something? Why were you that think that sounds like a college gig to me?
It was a fundraiser for, yeah, it was like a college involved. It was like a education foundation. So that this foundation gives scholarships to local colleges or something.
Yeah, who knows with these fundraisers?
I had a guy in the front row that was just like, Mr. I mean, he was super old. He was just sitting there, arms crossed,
Yeah.
and I was just it was like almost like a staring contest. I started performing right to him, looking in his eyes, not looking away. Like, you're not gonna shake me.
Yeah.
You don't. This is
Yeah.
nothing new, sir. You are not.
I love
I
it.
I am bulletproof here.
Get
And
madder.
I was like, if we were at a comedy club, I would have, called you out and
Right.
But I'm like, I'm not. It's a private gig. Whatever. I'll just play mind games with you.
Did it work? Did you crack him?
No, no, of
No.
course not. No, no.
I did a fundraiser on Saturday, but it was the oddest thing. So you know how like you say yes to this stuff and then you don't really even know what the like honestly, I could show up one of these times and they could be raising money for something horrible. Like I could be like, "Oh my God. I'm I because I do no research into
Yeah.
the
So you do a
cause."
gig for Racists for America.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, well, that was pretty much the worst one. So good. Yeah, I'm not going to top that. But so it was for the Edmonds, Washington business, like the Chamber of Commerce for
Oh,
like for small businesses.
yeah.
And I was like, we have to have a fundraiser for business. That's how I started. I was like, isn't that what business is? Just raising funds for yourself? Like what?
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, nobody's coming to my comic book shop. That just means that you should close. That doesn't mean you should start having fundraisers. But
Yeah. We're
and then
only
I was
we're
like,
only making a profit. Yeah.
you turned to comedy. I was like, that's when you know you're screwed. When you're like, oh man, we're not making any money. Let's have a comedy show to help out.
Ah, yeah. That's
But
where the money's at.
that's where the money is. Not for me.
You know?
But it was pretty fun gig. And then this is what I was going to complain about this. This was going to be my topic, but I think I've talked about this before. You were talking about that old guy giving you the evil eye. I had a
Yeah.
Monday night I did a show here in Portland and I had a heckler and it's the worst heckle. It's just so annoying to me. And I wasn't even having that great of a set, but I got it on tape. This other guy was taping
Yeah.
and I was like, "Send me this tape because I just want to show people like an example of the worst way you can heckle a comedian or the way that's most annoying to me." It's when you're being self-deprecating, but then they yell out the deprecation like they thought of it. So I
Right.
was
Right. Right.
saying
Like, so
how
what it was it?
well, I was talking about how like, people who have no kids, I'm like, just be grateful, don't be smug about it. Just be great. Don't like brag about your trips to Europe and all this. So I'm going
Yeah.
setting
Yeah.
up this premise. And she goes, "You're just jealous." And I was like, fucking literally what I was just saying. Literally, you know what I mean? It's like you can't do like what if a big fat guy was like, "Oh man, you can tell I really like my lunch," And like, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're fat. I mean, it's like that kind of stuff
Right.
drives me insane. And you
Right.
see it way
Do
too
you, I mean,
much.
do you explode on them? Be like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
dumb
I,
shit.
I
That's the
lost it.
joke.
I lost it on her because, and I had seen her
Oh,
before. This comic went up. He was a funny guy. I wish I could remember his name right now. He's out of New York, but had just moved from Denver. Anyway, he was doing this bit. It was kind of like a Johnny Beaner style, where he was like, "Oh, I actually had a ghostwriter write these next few jokes. Do you mind if I?" So, and he was like silly the whole time. So like
yeah.
clearly he did not
Right.
actually. But that same lady who I didn't know, who I went on last, so I didn't know she was gonna heckle me, but she just with her arms crossed. She's like, "No, I like." She didn't say it loud enough for him to hear, but she goes, "No, I like original. Write your own
Yeah.
stuff." And I was like, "How stupid are you?"
You
And
dumb
then he did
lady. Was
this
he
funny
after
thing.
you or before you?
He was before me, so like
Oh, okay.
I already had like I knew who she was already, and
Yeah.
she was already had annoyed me. So once she yelled out, "You're just jealous," I was like, I couldn't take it. I just
Oh,
started
yeah.
yelling at her.
Did you get that on tape?
Yeah, yeah. So I'll
Oh,
share it. I'll put it on the Patreon. If it's
I'd
good
love to
enough,
see
I'll post it on Reels, but I'll at least send it to the Patreon. I don't know what I don't. I was so heated, I can't even tell you what the response was like. I just get
it.
irrationally angry about that. I don't know why, but just if someone's being
Because
self-deprecating.
it's infuriating.
Yeah,
It's
it's
because you
almost like
crack these
gaslighting.
jokes and they want to be like, see, it's easy. I can do it too. And it's like, no, you didn't do it.
Right.
I did all the work. And then
I
you're
just
so stupid.
right. I served that to you, and then you just shoved it back in my face rather than just
Yeah.
eating it
Yeah.
as in enjoying the meal. I
Ugh,
don't know. There's something about it that drives me crazy, but I just love
what a
comedy,
butthole.
you know.
Oh yeah, for
Just
the
love
love
stand
of
up.
the game.
Just love
For
stand
the
up.
love of the game.
Just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, should we do topics? Do you have any other pre-show?
Let's do
Yeah.
yeah, I do I just this is just kind of funny. I was at Duncan's I just wanted to talk about this guy. Very nice guy. He's but he's the assistant coach on the old baseball team.
Sure.
And great guy, but he gets into
Too
the
much.
games and
Don't like it.
he he's like dropping the F bomb at the kids.
No,
He's like,
no,
because they're supposed to, the person that's
can't
in
do
the
it.
hole is supposed to go get the bat. He's like,
Yeah.
you guys gotta fucking pay. Who's gonna get the
No,
fucking bat? And it's like,
no,
oh my god, these kids are nine.
no way.
And I saw him at the last game. I saw him take a bag of he took a bag of sunflower seeds, reached up really high and just threw it out the crack over the fence. And I could tell he was just pissed because someone was not paying attention. They were eating their sunflower seeds. So he throws it out of the dugout. And he just gets so into it. But like if we're not in a game and they're running, he's like totally calm and cool and fine. But it's just like, oh, this guy's just he's too he's too
Something
into
happened.
it.
Something happened to him. You know, you
I
can't be
guess.
the only parent who probably has some scruples with him dropping F bombs for the 9-year-old kid team.
I mean, I didn't hear him say it. I mean, I've seen him like lose it, but
Oh,
Duncan
so he
told me
says
he's
it
like, yeah,
under his breath.
he said cuss word. He was like saying he was cussing. He was saying like get the effing bat, and I was like, what? And I was
Yeah.
like, you know, I was like, really? And then I watched him the next game. I was like, oh yeah, he gets
Oh
pissed.
my God. Okay, so
I was filming. I was filming Duncan. He was what?
he's saying it just
Because
loud
these
enoh
kids,
for the kids to hear, but the parents
yeah,
can't.
the kids to hear it. Yeah,
Ah,
I would.
that's
I
even
think.
worse. He's like knows
I
it's
know.
wrong. He's like it's like
But I
hitting
filmed.
it. It's like child abusing a kid, but like doing it in the shoulders or in the chest where you know the bruises don't show.
Yeah, where won't leave a bruise.
Yeah.
I was filming. I always film Duncan when he bats, just because if he hits it, I like want to get it on. Nobody else films their kid anyway. So I'm filming him, you know,
Yeah.
ball after ball after ball, and I just film each time, and then I put it down, delete it, and of course, so I'm filming this dad. This dad of a player that's on defense walks right in front of the camera between Duncan and me and yells, Jacob, Because his kid was like sitting to see his kid was like on second base and he was just sitting down on the field. He's like, get up. And then he walks out of frame and you can hear him go, hey, coach, feel free to get on his ass if he's not, if he's just sitting around. I was like, oh my God. Glad I captured that on tape. It was so funny. But that's when Duncan hit, like, you can hear him go, get up. And then you hear the crack of the bat and
Yeah.
Duncan
Then
actually
he
hit
hits
it. And
like
I was
a
like, oh,
huge
of
home
course.
run that you'll never get on tape.
Oh,
The I love that the dad is just like, why isn't this coach cussing out my 9-year-old for sitting down?
I know.
Like,
I better
dude,
give him a pass. Hey, coach, feel free to beat the shit out of my kid.
you already got the fucking craziest coach in the league. You know what I mean? You don't prod him
Yeah.
anymore. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
But
Little
Duncan's a pretty good pitcher. He pitched
That's
the one
awesome.
game I was in Pennsylvania. Aaron was texting me, is like, he just struck out a kid. And at this age, no one's strikeouts are very rare. It's either, they get out on the, or they
Or
just
they
do
walk.
the limit of how many runs. But
Yeah.
he struck out 6 kids. That's pretty sweet.
Whoa. Gotta fast track them. But keep him in
I
other
know.
sports. Don't do the thing where you go, oh, he's great at baseball. He's a great pitcher. We got to do baseball, 12 months a year. Because I'm telling you, I've read some books, and you want
Yeah.
interdisciplinary, you want all the sports. It'll make him a better athlete and more desirable in college if you let him do all the different sports. So don't let him get hyper focused. That's my only
I
advice.
don't think that's going to happen. Baseball's his least favorite sport.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Yeah, he likes basketball, and he's good at it. He's probably a better. He is for sure a better ball handler than I am today. He's very good. He's
Oh,
super
man.
short, and he can like dribble between his legs
Great. We got a
like
little point guard.
naturally.
Little point guard pitcher. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I
Oh,
know.
I'm so excited. You're going to get to go to all
Yeah,
these games. Kid's going to be killing it. I hope Ginger. I
yeah,
will say we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Ginger, we drive by this Chuck E. Cheese.
yeah. I saw your post of the beer you were
Yeah,
drinking.
dude, they had a Fort George IPA. I was like, it's one thing. I had read that article like a couple years ago. Like, oh, Chuck E. Cheese is having beers, and everyone was making jokes because they just started having beer. They got like real craft beer. I was like, God, this is the most Portland shit ever. Like they had like a. I mean, I remember going to bars that didn't have IPAs, and now Chuck E.
Yeah,
Cheese has them. Also, Chuck E. Cheese. Let me call you out really quick. The whole thing about Chuck E. Cheese is the animatronic show. That's the only thing that separates Chuck E. Cheese from any other shitty arcade out there. It's not
from
the
Dave and
pizza.
Buster's.
It's not the beer. Dave and Buster's is 1,000 times better than Chuck E. Cheese on any metric,
Hmm.
except for the fact that you have the cartoon. You have Chucky,
Yeah,
and then you have the dancing robot thing. They've gotten rid
yeah.
of that. They cut like
They don't
somehow
have those.
somehow the robots, I don't know if it was like a union thing or what, but they cost too much money. So they cut back way back on that. They only had one animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and it wasn't even doing anything. It
Oh
wasn't going
wow.
off. We were there for over an hour. So my advice to Chuck E. Cheese, like they're going out of business. If you guys want to stay in business, lean back into the animatronic thing.
Yeah,
That's what made you famous.
yeah. I remember
Oh,
that from Showbiz Pizza. Did
yeah.
you have Showbiz Pizza with the
No, we never had.
Bears?
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Look it up
Uh,
sometime.
I'll look it up.
No, you
I'm not going to do that. So then they had a basketball game though, and we did
yeah,
notice. And like we bought Ginger a basketball hoop, but then when I try to play with her, she just wants to run around with the ball. She doesn't want to like practice shooting or anything.
yeah,
And she's 3. Okay, so we're not rushing to judgment.
sure,
But Heidi and I both like noticed these other kids like seemingly her age, just like
yeah.
draining baskets.
At Chuck E. Cheese,
Yeah. And I mean, it was a
yeah,
low, like little kid. Like
sure.
it wasn't like the regular Papa Shot. But I was like, man, Ginger couldn't even get it to the Like I had to like pick her up and
Oh,
like lean her over, and I was like, I
it'll come. It'll come.
might be failing this kid.
Everyone's got their different point.
She's great on the swing though. She loves to
There
swing.
you go. There you go.
She
We got
loves
an
an
Olympian
underdog.
there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. I'll just have her hang out with Duncan.
All right.
Rub off on her.
He'll teach her some stuff.
Topics. Topics.
Topics. All right,
Topics.
let's do it.
Okay.
Uh,
I
you or me?
I'll go. You always go first.
Go,
I'll go first
go.
before I forget. Okay, so I went to this place. I forget what it was, but oh, it was a food truck before some brewery show I had, and
Yeah.
it was like some vague sort of, I don't know, Vietnamese chicken and rice type place, you know.
Okay.
So I was like, whatever, let me get the chicken. He's like, well, what sauce do you want? I was like, well, what, like the number one, I don't know, what does it come with? I've never been here before. And he goes, well, there's, I don't remember the names of them, but there was like Bing Bong, super sauce, uh, Bing Bong sounds
I'm sorry.
racist.
Bing bong.
You know what? Let me pull back on Bing Bong. It probably wasn't Bing Bong, but there was just like
Ping
five
pong.
different sauces, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I don't know what any of those mean. And how about this? So this is what I need backup on. You're the restaurant. You just you created this dish somewhere in your
Yeah.
life. You were like, this is so good, I've got to sell it. Give me that. Give me the
Yeah.
version in your head what this was supposed to be. Don't let me, like, it's one thing if you're like, do you want it medium rare or whatever, I
Yeah.
get that. But like
You want the Bing bong or the ni hao?
yeah, what oh god. But what, he's like, what do you want it to taste like? That's like your thing, dude. You're the chef. You
What do
flavor
you
it.
want it to taste like? I
Yeah,
don't know.
what
Give me an orgasm in my mouth.
I mean, I
All
don't
right.
know.
You're gonna have to come back behind the
I
counter for
don't know
that,
what
sir.
kind of food this is. I've never, you're not like Chick-fil-A. It's not like your sauces
What?
are like known to the world.
Right.
So
Who were
just,
you with?
I was by myself. I was
Oh,
I was
see,
doing a show.
I'll I'm trying to back you up, but I would never be in that situation. I would have looked at the menu and been like, "All right, hi, do you know where the nearest Arby's is?"
Yeah, I know. I know this. But I was about to go on, and then it's like a thing where I was like, I knew going in, like I'm gonna have to eat at this show because I have no choice.
Yeah,
And of course, these breweries, instead of like having a kitchen, they'll just have a food truck pull out front, which is always disaster because it's not like, like if a brewery has like just a kitchen, you're gonna have
yeah,
burgers and chicken and
yeah.
the whole gamut, right? But when they just have one food truck, you're just rolling the dice. You have no idea. It could be,
Yeah.
you know, Mongolian. It could be Australian. Oh, the other thing. So I think it was vaguely Hawaiian, maybe, because
Oh,
chicken
okay.
and rice, But then everything had the macaroni side. You know that when you get Hawaiian food, they have that plain, not macaroni and cheese, just like macaroni and like mayonnaise. You know that side that comes with
Oh,
like
God. No, I
Hawaiian
never heard
food?
of that.
That is an all-time.
Macaroni and mayonnaise?
Yeah. You ever get Hawaiian food?
No, but I've seen signs like, don't they have pineapple on a bunch of shit? No, you know what I'm talking about?
You mean the pizza. You've heard of Hawaiian pizza.
That's not what I'm talking about. There's a no, there's a place.
Have you ever had Supreme food? They do like sausage and onions and
No, there's a place
let's go
called the
out for
Poke
Supreme
Bowl.
tonight. Where is Supreme? Is that a country? I'd like to visit Supreme someday. You got tasty stuff.
Yeah, Hawaiian food, with Canadian bacon and
Right.
pineapples. Yeah.
No, but I'm look it up. I'm telling you, that's like the big thing is like this macaroni salad. and it's just
Okay.
basically macaroni and mayonnaise. It's disgusting. It is a top three
Sounds
all
disgusting.
time worst side of any cuisine. And for some reason, Hawaii, this beautiful state, this beautiful culture, with you're right, pineapple and all this amazing, like the pork that they cook. Yeah, you ever go to those luau's and they have the poi or whatever, all that stuff. They have all this amazing food, but they're sticking with that macaroni horse shit. It's disgusting.
Ugh,
Anyway,
yeah.
but really, my topic is just like if you have a restaurant and you believe in yourself, just pick some flavors and put that on the
Yeah.
menu, and then you could have different ones. You could go, this is our spicy chicken, and this is our sweet chicken, and this is our whatever, and I'll just pick for myself. But don't let me order the chicken and then go, well, what do what flavor do you want?
Yeah. What
That's
what
your.
did you end up doing?
I just picked the number one. I just like, all right,
You just went with Bing Bong?
Bing Bong. Bing Bongs. Give me the Bing Bong. And it was kind of sweet,
Cool.
but it wasn't bad, you
Huh.
know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think he let me pick two. He was like, "Here's two." So he was
Oh, so
so
you got the knee how too.
I got knee high too. So he let me pick two sauce, and I was like, "All right." And I think one I ended up liking more than the other, but I don't know which one was which. And I'll never
Okay.
know. And I'll go back and I'll have no idea what I ordered or what was better. And so
Yeah. It'd be
anyway,
funny if like you pick two and he's like, ugh, those two do
yeah,
not go well together.
like
But hey, if
salad
that's
pizza.
you, if that's what you want.
I'm having bad luck lately because that's exactly what happened with salad pizza.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. All right, I'm backing you up,
Okay,
of
thanks.
course.
What do you need
What kind of
backup on,
podcast would
Jordan?
this be if I didn't back
I
you up?
know. I know.
All right, here's my topic. Um, okay, I got two. So I'm trying to decide which one. I'll go with this one. No Mo May. No Mo May. Do you guys do that in Portland
Oh,
where you don't mow your
no, we
yard
don't.
in May?
We don't, but I've heard you talk about this before.
Did I talk about it last week or was it a year ago?
A year ago, I think. I think you
Okay,
can
well
do it
I'm
again.
doubling down
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
because because oh, we got to give the bees a place to pollinate or whatever. Uh, our neighbors, no neighbors in our circle do no mow May. They're all,
Can I ask you a question?
adults or older, and they take
Yeah.
care of their yard. They all have True Green treating their so like our yard looks just terrible by comparison, and we look like just a bunch of rednecks because we have dandelions and all this these flowers all over our yard because we're not mowing because it's no mow May. But that's not even, I don't even care about that. Whatever our house looks like, it's fine. My point is, it's May 7th and it looks like a jungle. By the end of May, when I finally mow, it's going to look like a field with hay clumps.
Yeah.
It's just going to be awful for the
Yeah.
rest of the year because it's going to have these clumps.
But isn't there something really sad? Because like when I worked in landscaping off and on in my life,
When you worked what?
in landscaping,
Oh, landscaping. Yeah.
that's the euphemism I'll use. But off and on in my life, we would always get sent to like the worst. It's not like I was maintaining the Vanderbilt mansions or whatever. It was
Yeah.
always the worst, someone's last resort. And
Okay.
so the grass is up to your shoulders, basically, and then
Yeah.
there's dog
Yeah.
shit everywhere. And the dog poop is not great. The dog poop is very frustrating. But there is
Yeah.
something like so satisfying about taking a lawn from like
Oh,
here
yeah.
to down. Like when you're just mowing your lawn regular, like I still like my backyard because we put in the sod
Yeah.
last year and I've been taking really good care of it and fertilizing
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Pride.
I have that I still get joy out of.
Yes.
But like the front, like when I do it, like we have a bunch of weeds in there and stuff, and I don't know what we're gonna do with it long term. I don't get a lot of joy out of mowing the front when it's
Hmm.
short. When it's just okay, it's up or there's a bunch of dandelions. Okay, it's time to just mow. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel great. But if it were like up here and I oh The before and
Yeah, but
after photos.
I get that. I agree. I like that feeling, the comparing. But how do you do, or how did you deal with?
Oh, well, we would have
You tell
to.
me you
So
weren't bagging it.
we
You
didn't
didn't
have,
bag it.
no, we're not bagging it. And also, we didn't have a riding mower though. So we would have
Uh,
to, we would use um, weed whackers and go in at first and just chop it all down by hand
oh, to get it low enough so
to
the
get it
mower
low
could
enough
take it
to
in.
just to roll a mower over. Plus, you couldn't see, so like you couldn't roll a mower through because there could be like a wagon down there or something, like an abandoned,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, like a dead body or
A
something. You don't want
baby.
to,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You don't want to roll over that with the mower, and plus you would just choke the mower. There's no way. So we would go over it
yeah.
with weed whackers the whole way, and
Oh God, I
yeah, it's a
can't. That
nightmare. Oh, I did
awful.
one that was like so overgrown it had uh like blackberry bushes growing through, like actual like, so the weed whacker couldn't, so you had to like come through with shears, like
Oh
like
God.
hedge trimmer type
Like
shit,
chop
like
down
sweeping
plants that
it,
had
like, yeah,
grown.
like you needed a machete, like it was like going through a jungle. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a nightmare. But then part of me wishes that was my job, like full time. Like part of me wishes every day I would get sent to a different giant field and have a bunch of
Mo.
tools, and they're just like, get it down. And you
Yeah.
get paid well, but and you're tired by the end of the day, but it's very simple. There's no like politics. There's no
Yep.
like algorithms. Just the field's up.
There's no
There's
competition.
no competition. There's no rush. There's no like, if this doesn't get done by
Yeah.
tomorrow, we're dead. Just get it down. And here's all your
Yeah.
stuff. It's like, God, that would be kind of sweet.
That'd be great.
No, but I agree. Here's my hypothesis for you though. So do you know anyone else who does no mo may?
No. I don't.
Right?
Apparently, the public parks in Madison, like Madison's all behind it. None of the neighbors that I see, my wife says that other people in the neighborhood do it. Like she sees a lot. I don't. I don't really pay attention. But like the cities are letting the parks grow, except for like the walkways for May, and then they clean it all up after May because of something about the bees. They're going
Yeah.
extinct or some shit. I don't
I
know.
heard the bees are back. You should
Oh,
Google that.
great!
The bees might be
I'll mow my lawn.
the bees might be back. Uh, what about your front yard?
Front yard, I mowed it this past weekend. I was like, I just for the sake of our neighbors, I have to do the front yard because our front yard, I mean, you saw it's not super big. It doesn't take too
Yeah.
long. Backyard is the football field, so I mowed the front yard just aesthetics, and but the backyard is, you know,
Yeah.
ridiculous long. And it's not gonna look rewarding and be like, oh, that's so nice, the before and after, because it's gonna be like, well, now it just looks short, but with a bunch of shit and clumps all over it.
Do you go, so like, here would be what I would think you would do. So you're not collecting it. So you're just
No.
taking the riding mower, but it's not going to be so high. Like the riding mower can handle it, right? Like whatever height it
Yeah.
is, you can just cut
Yeah.
it down.
I'll just
Do
yeah.
you go over it at like I would put it at like, I don't know, whatever, 12 inches, and then do a one
12,
pass and then go
12
down?
inches.
Yeah. Well,
A
how it,
foot?
yeah. I'm saying for the first pass and then cut it down.
I
And
don't know if
that
it
way
goes
you're
up to
mulching.
I think 6 inches is the highest.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I don't know how high your grass is. I don't know with like riding mowers.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't
But
know.
I would
I
put it
mean,
at like 6 and
okay.
then the highest setting, whatever that is, and do a pass and then bring it down to like your desired height. And that way you're cutting up all the stuff too again. But like if
Yeah,
there's like
okay.
big piles that get sucked in. And I did that with my backyard recently, which is obviously smaller, but like I had let it go a long time because I was just on the road. And it grow that's the other thing, like in Portland, it's probably the same in Madison, but like it grows so fast right now because we haven't had
Oh, yeah.
sun for like 9 months, and the
Yeah.
second the sun hits it, it just starts exploding.
Yeah, it grows fast. Yeah, but that would take. I mean, if I did that, it would take 2.5 hours instead of the hour 15.
But just so much joy you get from it.
That's true. I'll let you know. I don't know. I'll
Let me
let
know.
you know.
I love lawn talk.
Lawn talk on the
I got a lot out
cavalry.
of this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm backing you up. Just mow it.
Okay.
Here's what I would do. Tell Aaron, like, Google it. I'm pretty sure I saw an article recently. I think the bees are already back. I don't think we have
Okay.
to
I'll
worry
just tell
about
you
it
that.
anymore. Just tell her the bees are back. It was a
The bees are
problem,
fine.
but
They're back.
bees are fine. They're back.
Yeah, I read an article.
I read an article.
Andrew
Andrew,
read an article
Andrew
about
told me the bees are back.
it. Yeah.
Don't worry. All right.
All
That's
right.
it.
Good app.
Good app. Solid
Oh,
app.
all right.
Thank
I
you
will be
everybody
at
for
Montreal
listening.
this weekend. I'll be at Montreal at the Comedy Nest for all of our Canadian listeners. Johnny
Uh,
Beaner from Stephen Colbert.
from Stephen Colbert, straight from your television sets
That's right.
to the
Where are you going to be?
stage in Montreal. I'm excited for you. It's supposed to be a fun club. So, and
Yeah,
Montreal,
I'm
what a cool
excited.
city. Have you ever been to Montreal?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither.
Have you ever done the Comedy Cave in Calgary?
No, no, and I've heard
Oh,
of it.
I think
That's
that's the
why.
only
That's why I
like
hesitated.
club in Canada I've done.
I've never. Oh, hecklers in Victoria. I've done, and I'm going back to
Hmm.
actually in June. But that's it.
Is that a good club?
It's fun. Yeah, pays like
Cool.
okay, but Victoria's beautiful too. So in the
Hmm.
summertime.
Maybe Christina can get me in there.
Yeah, I could get you in fucking
Oh,
hecklers.
okay.
I just don't know if it might be worth it to you. We'll see.
You think
We'll talk.
Christina still
Talk wax.
listens?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a long time. She's out in like Italy or something.
Yeah. All right. Where are you going to be?
I'm gonna be at the Funny Bone in St. Charles in St. Louis in June. So check my calendar for that. And that hecklers, I think that's gonna be like end of May. Saturday. It's just one show in the summer, so or one night in the summers, two shows. So
Hmm.
that's it's all on my calendar. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't look this up right now. But
AndrewSleighter.com.
AndrewComedy.com for
AndrewComedy.com.
all the details.
All right, folks.
That'll do it. Thanks everybody for listening to
The Cavalry.
Cavalry.